Hello and welcome to episode number 6 of the Varied Gary podcast. On this episode of the podcast, me and Maddie the Iceman Ison sit down and discuss Hugh Hefner and the Playboy Mansion. Hugh actually passed away last Wednesday. I think everybody probably knows that by now. And if you don't, you probably live under a rock or on the moon. That's none of my business. Ever since he did pass, though, I knew I was going to do a podcast, and I had a couple of questions I wanted to answer myself, so I did a little bit of research and jotted down some things that I thought everybody else would find kind of interesting. So I guess we're just going to get right to it here, and I do realize that Marilyn Manson wasn't somebody that posed in Playboy. I can't believe that we're sitting there talking about things and I'm like, oh yeah, the first issue. Anyway, you'll hear it. A little mixed up I get sometimes, but it's all good. Actually, Marilyn Manson had an ex-girlfriend that posed for Playboy, and I think that kind of messed me up there. I was showing Matt the actual magazine. Actually, I have a couple of magazines here on the table that you'll see in the podcast if you're watching the video version that were acquired over the years. It's a good magazine, very entertaining. Like, you know, it's whatever. It's borderline pornography. I don't know if it's actually labeled pornography. I guess it would be, but anyway, here's the podcast, and we also talk about other various things. You'll see. I'll just put links and anyway, let's go. Just listen up. What did he do again?
Compressed nitrogen tank about the size of that propane tank, skinnier, like beer can times 2.
Yeah.
Or oxygen tank, I mean. And they're at like this psych ward because he's trying to kill that lady from like Chucky 2, that like 12-year-old girl.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Or was it a girl or a boy?
Boy was in the first one, I think.
Yeah, and then he grew up.
Yeah, and then girls in the second. They're both in this movie. Girls in the second one, or third one. Second one.
Oh yeah, that's right too.
Yeah, and then he walked over to her feet, and I thought for sure Chucky being Chucky was gonna do some gruesome shit, like stick it up her.
Yeah, like say something smart before he does it too.
Yeah, and then like pop the top and let it shoot right up there.
Oh my god.
No, he drops it on the floor, and it shoots up, hits the window above her, and her head gets cut off.
Well, that's kind of creative too, though. Maybe that's where they wanted you to go with it.
I miss old Chucky.
Yeah, old Chucky's cool.
Old Chucky's a pervert.
Anthony was a boy, wasn't it? Anthony. I always remember Chucky like saying.
Could be, yeah.
I don't know. So there's like 5 or 6 of them now, isn't there?
There's a lot. A lot of Chuckies.
Anyway, welcome to the podcast. I'm just going to leave this in.
Right.
I don't care. Go see Chucky, people.
Plug.
Yeah, we're plugging Chucky. What is it? Child's Play? Yeah, what was that one called?
Child's Play, yeah. That was the first one. I think, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember. I remember The Bride of Chucky. Seed of Chucky.
Seed of Chucky, yeah.
Shit, I can't think of it. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Bunch of Chucky movies. He's a doll that kills people.
All right. Cheers to you, Matt. Thanks for being home for this one.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm home.
Matt just got home Friday. We scrambled to do this podcast. I've been like writing down little notes and stuff about Hugh Hefner because that's what today is all about. If you can tell by the table. Yeah. And I know what you're thinking, but honestly, this isn't like acquired from me personally. This is somebody else that actually just let their subscription roll throughout the years at their place.
Conditioned Playboys, you can open every page.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of them here that are still in the plastic too. So only Pamela Anderson. It's like the older issues.
Yeah,
they didn't even bother taking them out.
Busted ass titties.
Yeah, I still kind of do. So we're going to talk about Hugh Hefner because he just passed on Wednesday. That was the 27th of September, I believe. And it's 2017. He's 91 years old. That's crazy.
That's a long way for a guy that smokes cigars religiously.
Well, I think he was like into the pipes heavily.
Yeah, pipes, yeah.
Yeah, because I seen a couple brutal interviews of people like trying to shut him down, break him down in the 60s, like the mid 60s, and he was sitting there hauling away on the pipe. It's pretty cool.
Doesn't care.
No, doesn't give a shit. Why should he? He's got the world by the rabbit paws.
He didn't then.
I got notes because I'm a little bit of a dork, but whatever.
Right on.
So basically, you can probably ask me any question like that you think of right off the bat, and I might know it.
Yeah, okay. Actually, yeah, I got no questions about Hugh Hefner.
I had all kinds. So I basically went in like the early part of his life and kind of read up on some things before he got into Playboy. And then I just basically went and thought of questions like the grotto, how clean it is and stuff like that. And I didn't want to look up any dark stuff because, hey, we're celebrating his passing. I don't want to degrade anything that he's done, right? So I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that
there's no successful person out there that hasn't done some greasy shit before.
Maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to comment on
No.
that. But anyway, so yeah, he basically was born in April 9th in 1926.
26.
That's crazy. That's when people didn't even know what sex was. Well, obviously they did.
Yeah, he was born. I mean, somebody had sex.
Yeah. Well, it's happened before. Says the Bible. Somebody said that one to me the other day. It's a terrible joke. His parents were both teachers. They're both
raised a great kid.
I know they
Smart
taught him
man.
well. I think they were pretty strict because Hugh Hefner, like later on when he started Playboy, he went and asked his father for like a loan. His father didn't think it was a very good like business idea to open up a gentleman's magazine, but his mother did hook him up with some cash. She gave him like $1,000.
His mother hooked him up with cash that displayed naked women?
Right? I'm sure. Right. I don't know. I'm sure he probably came at it.
Coolest mom in the world.
Yeah. He probably had some other kind of.
Yeah.
You know.
Other that, or his parents were fairly. I mean, they were both teachers.
Yeah.
They're like, here's $1,000. If it comes back, great. If we lose it, he's our kid.
Well, he rounded up 45 different investors and he basically started it all with $8,000 is what he had, and he was
$8,000 back then is a lot of money though.
I know. Yeah, he bought the mansion for like $1 million when he bought $1.1 million when he bought it.
When he purchased it?
Yeah, when he purchased it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but anyway, he started this, and it was not even going to be called Playboy Magazine. It was going to be Stag Party Magazine. But there was some kind of legal action that was going to be taken against him for trademark or logo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, whatever it was.
Whatever happened to Stag Party Magazine?
I don't know. I think it probably was like It was probably like a horse place.
Yeah, some drunk from Brooklyn just.
Yeah.
I'm going to start a magazine.
Yeah, really. Bunch of horses. They're going to have a horse. Ooh, that was bad. Spill the beer all over the Playboys.
More concerned about the clicking noise in the mic.
Yeah, but so I didn't really look into a whole lot. Like, he was obviously in school. When he was in school, he was doing a lot of the school writing, and he used to do cartoons and stuff like that. And after he got out of college, he served in the military from 44 to 46. And
figured as much,
yeah, and he was a writer for the military, and he also was an infantry clerk. So he did that for a couple of years and then bounced out of that. But the whole time, this is something I didn't know. The whole time he was in the military, like just the 2 years I guess he was in the military, he was saving himself for his wife. He was still a virgin at this point. He was like,
Shut up.
He was like 19, 20 years old. So he was saving himself for his wife, right? They're engaged, and 4 or 5 months before the wedding, she confessed that she was having an affair like the whole time. So you can kind of understand why Hugh is Hugh, right? So this devastates him, but he does marry her. And they were married for 10 years. They had a couple kids. I think Christy and David are their kids. And she was like, listen, you can sleep with people. You can sleep with, whoever, just because we'll even it up. And he did. Yeah, but it was
here's
like,
your hall pass.
Yeah, yeah. But like, he was so crushed from it that he always felt that there was somebody else in the bed with them and stuff like that. Because he even said she was a lot more sexually advanced than Hugh Hefner, like himself.
Did he not sleep around just as like an additional slap in the face to her? Being like, here's your offer because I know I messed up. And then he's like, no, I'm a good person. I'm not.
Well, he kind of did that.
Or did he totally whore himself out?
Well, he said he did kind of. He did kind of, whore himself out a little bit, but just to have the conscience of not being able to make it work and like get through that, right? That's enough to be like, well, he definitely has. He's not like a piece of trash that just takes sex for granted. He knows the power of it, like you know what I mean. And
Playboy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, really. Well, actually, he did a lot of things for human rights and women's rights too. Like he's not just degrading all the time. He was a pretty fair dude. But then again, I don't know any dark stuff.
I honestly don't think he's degrade. Like they're signing up for it. Yeah, they're getting paid, but they're agreeing to it.
Well, a lot of them's a dream to be in Playboy too. Yeah. I'm sure.
And there's different quirks for different people out there, and some people their dreams of being Playboy, other people their dreams to
Sports Illustrated or Illustrated
that, or like Sewing Magazine Canada, like they want to be in that. There's different things for different people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. But even I think anybody can pick up one of these magazines, and it doesn't matter who you are. If you can look past the fact of having a naked woman in a magazine or any nudity at all, male or woman, whatever. If
2017, man.
Yeah, but if you can get past that, anybody can find something interesting in these magazines. There's great articles. There's super great interviews with famous people like actors and musicians and whatnot. I read a lot of cool stuff in them. But there's some cool pictures too.
I was wondering where you're gonna go with that.
Yeah, I didn't know where I was going either.
Yeah, I don't know. Back in the day, I can see it being controversial, but it's 2017. You get naked women on, TV 14 rated movies or PG 14, whatever the hell they're called.
Yeah, it was brutal back then too. There was an interview I was watching in 1966. It was William Buckley. It's called The Firing Line, and this was brutal to watch because the motivation or what this guy was talking about, this William Buckley, was basically the religious side of things and how you should abstain from sex until you're married and all this stuff, whatever. Like, and that doesn't really happen a whole lot anymore anyway. Like everybody knows that, but he was like arguing this, and when Hef was just basically saying like it's human nature to go. You know what I mean?
We're here for two things, and that is to reproduce and to feed ourselves. So, like, reproduce and survive. That's our two basic instincts. That's it. Everything else is just, self-taught along the way. But we're born with the instinct to reproduce and instinct to survive.
Yeah. Oh, this is brutal. We'll watch it, too. It's like after, like, whenever we get a chance to. But it was very uncomfortable. It must have been, like, 35 minutes of just trying to talk down to Hugh, and he's really smart. Like he's not a dummy, right? He got his I wrote it down here, but he got a Bachelor of Arts in psychology and a double minor in creative writing and art. But he got his degree in 2.5 years, and like the traditional time basically to get it, I guess, is like 4 years. So he's a hard worker.
Yeah,
like jumps in. But he did pretty good on those interviews, though. It wasn't brutal, like just watching him try to answer. It was brutal that when you look at it and it's so, like everything is so like straightforward with people back then. I don't even know.
Does it seem like a one-sided interview?
Yeah, well, I mean, the
100%.
crowd was with the interviewer too, right?
Yeah.
Like, when you get a good point in, everybody clap and stuff, and there would be like one person that would agree with Hugh Hefner, and it was just terrible.
Just the young Ron Jeremy in the background. Yeah,
Hugh! Yeah, but this isn't the first interview I had to do that neither. And he like had all kinds of those black and white TV show interviews, and it's just a different time.
Yep.
I guess I don't know how do they judge IQs? Do you know how they judge IQs?
A bunch of random questions.
I guess it would be testing IQ. It wouldn't be judging IQ.
Yeah, you don't sit in front of judges and, juggle shit.
Well, he has a 153 IQ, and I don't even know where that stands on the...
Something tells me that's like rocket scientists. Something tells me rocket scientists like 160, 180.
Really?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I think. I don't know. I don't look into IQs a whole lot, but...
I don't know. Yeah, that's so weird. But he launched Playboy with Marilyn Manson was his first one. Did you know that?
Yes and no. I knew she was...
a big part of something. Yeah. Well, she apparently was in the magazine. The first Playboy that came out, she didn't pose nude for the magazine. Hugh bought the rights to the picture that somebody else took, and it wasn't supposed to be published, and nobody wanted to publish stuff back then because there's so much heat, but he was like, I don't care, I'm doing it. Paid, I think I read $500, I could be mistaken. But he bought the rights to it, whatever, put it in his magazine, and there was some kind of not really her consent thing happening. It happened to James Mansfield too, but I think she sued him years later. She was She was like another person that was like Marilyn. But so the second time that she was in Playboy, they didn't have any pictures of her, but the magazine was way more successful than the first one with her pictures in it, because there's so much good content in it too, right?
She was willing, up for the role, I guess.
Yeah. So like when they sold that, there would be like I think it was 50,000 copies a month sold, and then after she got on the first but after the first magazine, by I think by the late 70s or early 80s, they were selling like something like 1 million copies a month or something silly like that. I'm probably all wrong anyway.
That's imagine how much those sales would go up, because when we were kids, we walked into a store, you had to be 18, you had to show an ID or whatever and be 18 years or older to buy one of these.
Yeah.
Imagine if they were allowed to sell them to 14 and 15-year-olds, how much boom.
I don't even
would have skyrocketed.
I don't even know what the age would have been back then.
Oh yeah, I guess back then, yeah.
I don't
likely a little more strict.
Yeah, I never ever really sat down and looked when they started legally, what age they legally started selling booze or cigarettes, or I guess that's It's hard to say that's
a good point.
Pornography. It is. It's like topless women. I don't even.
It's. I don't know. Definitely not pornography.
Yeah, pornography has a harshness to it, kind of. A little bit. It's right edgy.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird.
This is soft and I'm comfortable.
Yeah, but I guess the average family, if the average family found one of those under a cushion of a coach or somewhere.
You're having a family talk.
Yeah, it just seems so silly to me. I don't know, you know what I mean? Ben Affleck interviewing that one there. Check that out. That's so weird.
Oh, there's a Ben Affleck one. There was what I see. I seen another guy here somewhere.
Another guy? No.
Oh, no. Oh, Kanye West. There's an O.J. Simpson interview and another one, and.
Yeah, you know what his cheating wife's name was? this guy, Mildred Williams, but her middle name is Millie. So Mildred Millie Williams. Isn't that a fun name to say?
Mildred Millie Williams. Say it 5 times fast.
Nope. I'm not doing it. That's so funny. Yeah, but he left. He was working with Esquire before he got into like getting his own thing going, and I got two results when I looked up why he left Esquire, and one of the reasons was they were relocating to New York. Now I think they were in L.A. or no, they could have been Chicago at the time. I think it was Chicago, but they were moving the business Esquire to New York. And he was like, well, I'm not relocating, so he left. But another thing that they said was he asked for a $5 an hour raise, and they declined him. And so he was like, screw this. A $5 an hour raise back then? I wouldn't even ask for a $5 an hour raise now. That's like, a lot of money. A lot of
money, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I found it really funny, but since there's two different things, you don't know who to believe, right? And I don't even know if this shit's real. I'm regurgitating this.
Yeah, from the internet.
Yeah, from the internet. Most of it I read up on it, whatever, but basically this is just me saving people the trouble of looking it up. That's basically what this is.
Take it, run with it, do what you want with it.
Yeah, fact check if you want. I don't care. Actually, I'd like to hear back from you if you do. It'd be nice if I screwed up all of this. They'd be like,
you don't even know Hugh.
yeah, really. But there's a couple things I tried looking up, like his favorite drink and stuff like that. I couldn't find it. But
I'm gonna say he's definitely a Scotch man.
Yeah, I think he was a whiskey man. Somebody said he liked Jack Daniels.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hugh.
I don't know how tough his life was growing up.
Jack.
Yeah, that's pretty.
You looked a lot smoother than Jack, man.
And he made it to 91. But then again,
he definitely wasn't drinking Jack.
Yeah. So his original backstory. I'm going back to like shit here, but this is how I'm doing it right now. But the original mansion was in Chicago. Mm-hmm. He had a Chicago. It was a mansion, like almost like. It looked like it was in the city. I didn't really pay attention to where it was anyway, but they moved up out of there, I think, in 1970, I think. And I think it was 71 or something like that. But the new mansion is in L.A., of course, like, like near Beverly Hills somewhere.
Yeah.
Homely Hills, actually.
Homely Hills?
Homely?
Oh, Homely.
No, wait.
Homely?
Home by? Wait. This one right here? Home by? Homeby?
I can't even see what your Homeby.
Yeah,
Homeby.
It's kind of a weird. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, like I said, $1.1 million. And this thing is like badass looking. Huge. But that's a lot of money back then. But it's so all huge.
It's like brick too, isn't it? Like brick and rock.
Yeah,
It's not like a wooden built mansion. The exterior of it's all brick and rock and.
Yeah, it's friggin' like amazing. Even the pool out back is made.
He has a cave.
Grotto
with naked women in it all the time.
Grotto. Yeah, but they have a zoo too. They were the first. Actually, they're still, I think, one of the only private zoo license holder permits in LA. Like, it's crazy. They have all kinds of shit there. It's nuts.
So much money.
It would be so annoying to have a zoo in your backyard, though. Just think, like, the breeze a certain way, and it blows all the smell, or, like, they probably keep it pretty clean, but I've heard stories about it. It's just, like, there's a lot of shit in there, man.
Yeah. I mean, but if you get the money to be able to afford a zoo and the exotic animals in a zoo, you have the money for zookeepers.
Oh, yeah, you can clean it up.
Yeah. Like, there might be one bad day, and then your zookeepers come in, and it's like, right on.
Yeah, really. The grotto, though, I looked into, I was like, I wonder what the grotto's like.
What is the grotto?
It's like that cave. It's like you walk,
that's the cave.
Walk in the cave, and it has, like, it's all connected to the pool, and has the same water as the pool and everything. But one year... There's an investigation because 120 people got sick that were all at the Playboy Mansion. And it came back, the grotto was holding a bacteria, the H1N1 virus.
Shut up.
Yep. I swear to God. It was holding that, and there was another thing it was holding too, and it was... Nope, don't have it here. Oh,
Nothing.
there it is. Legionella
We're
pneumonia.
just going to leave that one to the professionals.
There's not even like you know what I mean, like chicken flu disease. There's not. It doesn't even have one of those names
Doesn't
where
have
I
one
can.
of those like 9HL6.
I think we're just gonna call it bleed out of places disease. No, that's another one.
That's not.
I think that's taken. But yeah, anyway, a bunch of people got sick. And when I thought it was like 10, 15 people got sick. And then when I looked it up and they're like 120 people, I laughed.
And they were bleeding out of places?
No, they were probably just shitting their pants and doing things and vomiting and such.
Nice.
I had Norwalk flu one time.
Yeah,
and that was, I think that's kind of about the same ballpark as that H1N1. I don't know.
No idea.
Could be
I've
wrong.
Never had either one.
Yeah, I'm not. It is not good. It totally drains you of all liquid.
I've been pretty fortunate with flus. I've never caught a flu, like a serious flu, and that I can remember. I think I had chickenpox when I was younger.
Yeah, I had chickenpox.
Don't remember. But other than, what was it, last year? Music Nova Scotia Week, I had that week-long fever. Other than that, never.
You had a week-long fever?
Yeah.
Oh.
Never. I wasn't sick. I wasn't nauseous. I wasn't, upset stomach, whatever. Just fever. Sweating my ass off for a week.
Brutal.
Whiskey, orange juice, and oregano oil. Got rid of that one.
Oh, I remember that. You were
I was
friggin'.
sweating.
Oh, everything smelled like oregano. I love oregano too, man, but you were just like a big, like somebody just stuffed your pockets full of oregano and you're walking around.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was
man.
probably consuming too much of that, but it worked.
Yeah.
And I sweated out.
You do that with the clove oil too.
No, I don't use clove oil.
No, I use clove oil for when I had the thing. I couldn't get into the dentist in my friggin' tooth.
Tooth, yeah.
And then got fixed up. But yeah, you smelled like...
The whole house did. Like, I was just I don't know, whenever I would finish a drink, I'll put like 2 shots of whiskey, some orange juice, and a drop of oregano oil.
Oh, that's brutal.
Yeah, and then I went to a show at Music Nova Scotia Week. I had my jacket on, and then everyone else is like, fine, they all got their jackets on. It's not that warm in this venue, right? It's air conditioned. I'm over there, jacket across the back, soaked in sweat. Alex looks over at me, he's like, "You're right, dude." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good." And then it would come in waves, right? So, and then I would get right cold and throw my jacket back on, and then I'll be like pale, and then I would start sweating again. I'd rip my jacket off, and yeah. It was a good time, though. Nova Scotia Week.
Yeah. Oh, screw being sick.
A few.
Man, there's been a lot of people around here sick lately. I haven't gotten sick in a while.
I haven't even noticed, honestly. I haven't been home. Like, I don't pay attention to True.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Diek. Yeah, so, what's the first... Do you remember the first time that you actually ran into a Playboy? I think a lot of kids...
I don't, because
There's always that friend. Hey, dude, I got this magazine in the woods.
No, because I'm from a different generation. Like, I'm the millennials, I guess.
Oh, yeah, you guys all had the internet anyway.
Yeah, like, by the time we were sexually curious, it was shitty internet, but we had internet, or... run over to a buddy's place. He would have internet or have something to show us.
Jesus Christ,
you guys
man.
And your, Generation X, I think, is what you guys are.
We at least had a
Playboy.
little bit of classy pornography. You guys went right to the dirt.
Yeah, there's on the internet. It's no holds bar.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I honestly can say you are the first person I know that has this amount of Playboys.
Yeah, it's a ridiculous amount.
Like
it's, you know what, I never, honestly, I've never even went through like have. I think that there's one time I think we're having a jam or something like that, or a rehearsal or something, and we're all kind of just eating and stuff like that. And I brought out this box and I was like, "Hey, check this out." I just love people's reactions when you have like 85 pounds worth of Playboy. And we all sat there and we're just like eating hamburgers. And we're like, do 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 do. You know?
You gotta tell the story about what Alex, Ben, and Dave did. I wish I was there for
perfect. I never even thought about this. So yeah, I was at work one night and I was all bummed out because I knew the guys wanted to get together for a jam that night, but I was heading to work, couldn't do it. And they're like, "Well, we kind of want to still rehearse even without the friggin' drum or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, go ahead." So I left the key out, and the boys went down there, and I had this box of Playboys kind of out like out in the living room, and while they were sitting there having a couple of beer, they decided to take all the magazines out and hang them up all around the house. Like every magazine. They're going to open it up to the centerfold and hang them all over the house. And so I'm like texting them the whole time. I'm like, "Hey guys, how's it going tonight?" They're like, "Oh, not bad. Just getting, jamming and stuff like that." I'm like, "Ah, cool." So I get home later on that night. They had just left. I opened the door, went in, and there were Playboys hanging from the cupboards, the walls, the fridge, like everywhere I went, there were a Playboy just all over the fucking place. So I was like, fuck, oh my God, those assholes. Like, it wasn't that I was bitching a whole lot. I mean, it's just a bunch of nude ladies or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not like...
What's the worst thing about a bunch of nude ladies?
Yeah, exactly. It took me about 45 minutes to all take down because it's not like I'm just going to be like, "No, It's like, appreciate.
Put it away.
Put it down. Appreciate. Put it down." And then I got to the fridge. This is the best part. I opened up the freezer, and there's one People's magazine there with George Clooney. And I just shut the door because I figured he'd help my power bill out. He'd keep the place a little cooler. Hey-o. So I told them. But, they left me like 3 tall boys in the fridge. So, like, I had just sat there, kind of tinkered away. I texted them the whole time. I was laughing my ass off. But, oh, my God, that was so funny. Dave didn't want any part of it because he thought I would... like freak out. He thought I was gonna get mad about it, but I was just like, "No, it's all good." It would have made me mad if they had to like glued them to the wall or something stupid like that. But
I would have laughed my ass off. They would still be there. Or either that or just painted over. Somebody's gonna go strip the paint and be like, "Huh."
Yeah. No, it's pretty good. All right, more Hugh Hefner facts.
Yeah.
He had, I think, 3 wives.
True stud.
Yeah, he did. Kimberly Conrad is the second wife he had. She has another 2 boys, Marston and Cooper. Marston.
Is that the kid name?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, I thought that was his 3rd wife.
No, the 3rd wife he didn't have a kid with. I think he's still with her. Or, no, not still with her. I guess. Ayo. Crystal Harris was the 3rd. But, yeah, I can't believe that. All set up. He just had his drive from a cheating wife. Just killed it. Killed it after that.
I'll show you.
Oh, he did.
Oh, yeah.
I will show you.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh, the guy that he bought the friggin' mansion from, I totally forgot about this. He was an engineer for NASA.
Really?
A space engineer.
Well, there you go. There's his IQ. That's it. All ties back together.
No, that's the other guy's IQ. Hugh Hefner's IQ is the 153.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's
space engineer.
It's great. I thought that was friggin' weird though. Space engineer having a big mansion like that.
Dude, aerospace people do make a lot of money.
Yeah, it's just dorky. Maybe he wasn't a dork. Maybe he's one of those cool space engineer guys.
I don't know.
I don't
Sure,
know.
there's some like super cool space guys.
Hmm.
They just, dude, would you be an aerospace scientist or engineer or?
If I didn't have to go to space, yeah, do anything like that. If I could just work on, well,
Yeah,
that
see,
wouldn't
that'd
be.
be a
That'd be
badass
crazy.
job.
That'd be crazy. Yeah, be a little bit too much work. Probably a lot of checking your work over. I don't like to do. I don't like to do that stuff.
Yeah, I just like push it on a pallet and kick it.
That sounded
Get out
cool
of
at
here.
first. I don't want to do that now.
Yeah.
No way.
Wait, you mean people got to live in this thing? No.
I wonder if he designed it. There's like
The
a bunch
mansion?
of dude. When I was watching Cribs, there was a bunch of passageways, and stuff like that going to like different rooms. And there's some say there's like underground tunnels there. I am definitely gonna be falling down this rabbit hole and watching these documentaries. I should have watched them before we did the podcast, but I was like, screw it, man. And let's talk about it, and then I'll get all
Have a
excited.
follow up.
Yeah, and have a follow up. Basically, I got everything wrong. And
I
just
know
forget about the first podcast with you.
Yeah.
But he did. Now that the mansion is going. Okay, so his neighbor bought the mansion, right? But the deal
All
was
within, like,
no. He bought it a while ago. But Hugh Hefner.
I was gonna say like the guy just died like 4 or 5 days ago.
Yeah,
Take
but
her easy.
yeah, I want it. I want it.
Yeah, it's mine.
But
I'm guilty. I would 100% if I had the money.
Well, he bought it.
I forgot it's mine.
Punches the kids. But he's a neighbor. He bought the house, but the deal was Hugh Hefner was to live in the house until he died. So he purchased the house for $100 million. This guy did. And Hugh Hefner stayed in it until he recently passed. And this guy has plans, like he also has a mansion beside, and he's gonna.
Well, I'm sure he doesn't live in a bungalow beside the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah, that trailer, little trailer, outhouse there. drives like a friggin' Ford Fiesta or something.
Polestar diesel generator just to keep power going.
Yeah, really. Hey, Hugh, how are you this morning? Pretty good. But he's so he's gonna merge he's gonna make them all one, and he likes to party too. He's like 30. He's a 34-year-old dude. His name is Darren Metropolis.
That's pretty badass last name.
Yeah, that's not bad. At 34, man, he's gonna kill it. He's gonna kill it. It'd be awesome.
That's younger than you.
Shut your face. Shut your face. I hate your guts. Yeah, but that makes me want to go down to LA more.
Yeah. That would be a badass mansion to own.
I never looked up any of the, like, there's tons of famous people that went down, but I wonder who Hugh Hefner's favorite person was. I don't know. Everybody's been there. Everybody.
I am not sure. I'm trying to think of like some really badass celebrity.
I don't know why I keep on thinking of Sean Penn. Sean Penn. But there's that documentary that...
Michael Keaton would be pretty badass.
He'd be a pretty cool person to have around.
Yeah.
Actually, they're all pretty cool people to ever... Well...
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. They might all be crazy, man.
Yeah,
Everybody
they
says.
could be super obnoxious, too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're rich as shit. Used the center of attention. But no, I'm going to say Michael Keaton's pretty badass.
I wonder how many people went in there and just like... Because they say the bunnies have strict rules. Like, they have a 9 o'clock curfew.
What?
Yeah, they had like a 9 o'clock curfew.
Are they a sports team?
$1,000 a week spending money.
I'll take $1,000 a week.
I'd take it too. I wouldn't sleep with them though. I wouldn't. What else are some of the rules too? I think they you have to be at so many events with Hugh during
You're,
a
like,
run of a
contracted
week.
into the-
Yeah, exactly.
Social networking part of it.
Yeah, but when I was watching, I watched the Cribs like posting or that MTV Cribs, and they had a thing. And he was doing like a walkthrough, and he went out to like where all the bunnies were or whatever, and he walked out, and it's almost like some of the girls he didn't even know that were there. And it's not like they called them by name. He was just like, "Oh, hello there."
Well, there's no way he can keep track of, like, Playboy's a huge organization.
Yeah, I don't know how it works, man.
Like,
Dude, girls just show up.
Hand hire bunny. He might hand hire
Actually,
the
man,
mansion bunny.
they say that he does a lot, like every friggin' thing. When he was in the, like, he handed his company over to his daughter, Christy, in 1982.
Yeah.
But he goes through everything, like, he's hands-on with everything, like, the whole editing process, every article, every picture, covers, everything. Like, apparently he goes through everything, or he did anyway. I don't know what happened now. I think David is basically running Playboy now.
His son?
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
One of his sons, yeah. Or it might have been Cooper. I can't remember. I watched a little thing on that too, but I'm not really sure.
As soon as they got handed that down, they were probably like, had the whole fingers going
he
on.
looks like Hugh Hefner and
really?
everything. Yeah, like he looks like him. He was in the grotto giving a tour around, but he goes yeah, I even got a couple store. And he goes, actually, I'm going to make no comment here. Like, you know what I mean? And he's a young dude. Christ. Couldn't imagine.
Who's your dad? Hugh Hefner.
Imagine never, ever hefting. Imagine never having to give your address out ever again. Be like, where are you to? Playboy Mansion, sir. Well, you're never taking a cab, so what the fuck am I talking? You're not going to Uber to the Playboy Mansion.
But you could cater a lot of food to a party. Oh, yeah, where's the party? Playboy Mansion.
Ah, yes. Apparently, they never catered any food up there. They have a 4-star restaurant rating.
Yeah, why? Again, it's the Playboy Mansion. Of course, they never catered nothing.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. They had a huge team of like chefs and stuff like that, and that's what they said. It was like a 4-star. That's pretty awesome to have in your house.
You can afford it.
He has like all these cakes and stuff, like his dessert pantry or whatever, glass like display. It's just like a restaurant. And then he has a drawer and it just says HH on it. It's the Hugh Hefner's cookies. Nobody else is allowed in there. He's like, these are my favorite cookies.
Oatmeal raisin or something.
I don't know. They look like a double chocolate or something crazy like that. But I wonder I don't even know what kind of sports or anything. I didn't even get in this. I should probably do like a part 2 of this too. Just be like, answer all the questions that I'm bitching about not knowing.
I have no idea. Yeah.
Tell you what though, I'd like to be at that house. That'd be cool to walk through.
I think he likes football.
Probably.
Dolphins fan, actually, I think. Which is weird. I don't know why. Fuck the Dolphins.
I guess.
Yeah. Flipper.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I honestly don't know. I learned more tonight about Hugh Hefner than I have ever known before in my life.
It's weird. Actually, I knew a little bit about him, but I actually have some stuff over there written down.
It's easier to deal with several girlfriends than one wife.
Yep, that's an actual quote from Hugh Hefner that he's repeated on several interviews. It's easier to deal with several girlfriends. Oh my God.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, we're both single. We can do that. God damn it. And he's he had a spot picked out years ago where he's going to be buried, and that is beside Marilyn Monroe. Beside her tomb. He has a spot right beside her picked out, so that's where he's going apparently. That's weird. Because there was a lot of hate. Like, there was apparently big hoopla between those because of the original Playboy, right?
Scandal thing, yeah.
It's kind of weird, but... And I don't think he's ever had her at the Playboy Mansion.
I don't mean to sound crude when I say this, but she wasn't really around for a whole lot of time.
Yeah, she suicided herself, I guess.
Yeah, there's a lot of different things going around about
What,
that.
did they say, like, somebody might have suicided her for herself?
CIA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a whole lot of shit going on because she had dirt on JFK. She was sleeping with the other Kennedy brother, and she had dirt on the government. And,
I suppose.
Yeah, there's just a whole big thing going on there. Anyway, yeah.
That was weird.
I forget where I saw
Let's
that,
do a
but I was
podcast on her now.
just-
Yeah, right. But, yeah, I'm trying to think of something else I might have looked up, but I don't know. It's so weird, though, because I don't know anybody that doesn't know who Hugh Hefner is.
No, he's definitely a household name.
Yeah.
Like,
so that's why it was kind of a big deal. You have artists
Hugh
and guys.
Hefner is the male Marilyn Monroe, I guess, is one way to say it.
Yeah.
There's, go to any house. Who's Marilyn Monroe? They might not be able to come up with a picture of it, but they know who she was.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but he's definitely had, girls ranging from Marilyn Monroe to China.
I wouldn't say that to her face, but
that's messed up. She's dead now.
What?
China's dead.
I would definitely say that to her face.
I wouldn't. Dude, I'd dig her up and say that to her face.
Yeah, I'm not scared of her now.
At one time, she was a big woman. Remember when we watched her get boxed by, I want to say not Frank Costello. I think he's a singer.
I want to say this. So, I want to say I did.
I can't remember the guy's
Was it
name.
really awful?
It was terrible.
Yeah,
it was just like really.
it.
I was like, no, that can't be China because China would be doing better than what she is, and this guy was just a big fat dude and just like boxing her around the ring. I can't remember that guy.
Who cares?
Yeah.
In all seriousness, it's China. She was a wrestler.
She's a freak lady. Well, anyway, that's pretty much all I really got.
That's all you got? What time is it?
Pretty much. We did about 45 minutes.
Sweet. I got a...
You got to be going on anyway, right? It's almost 7 o'clock.
I got a little fun little thing we can do here to close this out.
All right.
Where is saved? There we go. Whew, that's not it at all. But did you see the creepy broadcast warning? Violent Times. It was like in California. Somebody hacked into the emergency broadcast station.
No.
And like in California, they prompted the emergency broadcast thing. It was like beep, big red screen, and then the voice came over. It was turned out to be from a movie. But it was like, oh, they're coming. Everybody, don't trust anybody. They're disguised as us. They look like us. And it was on the emergency broadcast system. So a bunch of people were buying into it.
Oh, really? Yeah. So this is like the old shit that happened. Like, remember the War of the Worlds broadcasting back in like the 50s?
No.
When they were like, it's like this guy came broadcast his emergency broadcast. And they're like, aliens are here. They spotted blah, blah, blah. And he did it in like this monotone kind of thing. And everybody fucking lost their shit. But this just happened?
Like, this happened last week.
Play it. I'll put the link to this. I'll put a little bit on my podcast if I can here.
Okay. Kind of creepy. People in Orange County, California were treated to a rather odd surprise last week. They were, regular TV was on regular TV programming was interrupted with an ominous message suggesting the end of the night. And was tonight. Emergency alert. Where's the video? There it is.
I hate that noise because it usually means trouble. Oh. Jesus, man.
Like, if I was at the house, I was watching TV and this came on, my shit would be packed. I would be in my car I'd be gone.
Yeah, what would you do? I wonder how many people freaked out. I wonder if anybody was really hurt because of it. Like run outside and go down the stairs and just fall smack on your face.
I have no idea.
Oh,
But all right, that was not what I was getting at. The thing I was getting at is 13 of the weirdest celebrity conspiracy theories we've ever heard. I don't know if I'm going to go through all of them, but okay, the Megan Fox one is stupid, so I'm not even going to go through that. All right, this one's actually gets your brain thinking. Not really, because they did a horrible job. It's true.
yeah.
For years, Miley Cyrus starred on a show where she pretended to be Hannah Montana. Some people think that she died of a drug overdose in 2010 or assassinated by Disney operatives who didn't want her going rogue and was replaced by a woman who once served as the actress's singer's body double. If that's true, then that failed miserably because the body double went more rogue than Miley Cyrus ever would have.
Okay.
That's a little weird.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another body double one. Some people think that child beauty pageant contestant John Bennett Ramsey was not really murdered in 1996, but that she grew up and became pop sensation Katy Perry. I don't know who that is, so I can't. Ooh, okay, here we go.
Weird.
According to the theory, the Beatle died in 1966. But the Beatles, this is Paul McCartney, by the way.
Oh, okay.
But the Beatles were such a cultural and financial juggernaut that rather than end the band, a lookalike imposter was hired. His name, Billy Shears, the name of McCartney's character on the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album. Also, if you play A Day in the Life backward, you can supposedly hear the message, Paul is dead, miss him, miss him. Strawberry Fields Forever supposedly features a backward message of John Lennon saying, I buried Paul.
There's so many those backwards,
Yeah,
cryptic, talking, whatever. I don't know. Well, we have to try that out. What? So that was Little Yellow Submarine, that album?
Sgt. Pepper?
Ah, yes, right.
This one, okay, I gotta show you the video for this one because this one trips me the fuck out. There are two things everyone knows about Stevie Wonder, obviously. He's blind. Great musician.
Uh-huh.
Maybe he isn't blind. The theory took off when Stevie Wonder appeared on a concert broadcast on PBS in which he somehow caught a falling microphone stand.
It looks like he's doing, like he always had his hands out like that. Like every time he was just standing, it looks like he just did that and the microphone just happened to catch him.
It was a coincidence thing, yeah.
But that was, have you ever seen the selfie, the Stevie Wonder selfie? It's like, selfie, and it just has half his face because it's like, he couldn't line it up correctly.
Who was it? George Bush waved to him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny.
George Bush Jr. waved to him. Oh, yeah. Oh, Tupac and Biggie live in New Zealand together.
Oh, frig, that's awesome.
Yeah. All you One Direction fans out there. Louis Tomlinson, don't know who he is, apparently member of One Direction, didn't really father a baby in 2016. It was all a stage PR stunt to distract the band's teenage fans from his burdening relationship with bandmate Harry Styles.
Where are these from? What website is it? The Chive?
Yeah, they're just all on the Chive. J.K. Rowling didn't write the hugely successful Harry Potter series. Norwegian filmmaker Nina Grunfeld claims that a team of book and movie industry executives created the series as a calculated cash grab and hired an actress to pose as the author. Yeah, some people do a lot of drugs and come up with a lot of weird shit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that centipede you looked at yesterday. Oh, man. Man,
I found an even better one.
you got to send me that link. I'll put that on here too. But Matt showed me a video yesterday, and there's a centipede that was fighting an emperor scorpion. And oh my Jesus, it was
legit.
It was the thing was attacking like a rattlesnake that could run on legs. Like it was awesome. And I'll put that link on here. I don't even know why I thought of that. I guess just because you were looking at your phone.
There's when I was falling down the YouTube trail, like the rabbit hole of insect fights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was a little hungover at school. I came across this giant hornet, which we got to watch after this podcast before I go.
How big is it?
It has a body 2 inches long. It's a fairly decent sized hornet.
Right.
And it was like a 7-minute long video. It destroyed spiders. It destroyed a scorpion. Like, it was just going through anything, and unless, an emperor scorpion. It showed a video of that, an emperor scorpion, within like 8 seconds, it was like, ripped it in half. And, it's an emperor scorpion.
Yeah.
And, this hornet, the giant Asian hornet is what they're called. What they do is they go, and there was a 2 or 3 minute video at first. It was just like watching a high action packed war jet fighter scene. Is one of them, a scout hornet will go lay a pheromone down once it finds a honeybee hive.
Oh, yeah, right.
And then go back to its colony to lay another pheromone to tell all the hornets. And these are all big fucking hornets against honeybees. And then, 100 of these things will fly in there, and then they'll just start ripping honeybees apart. And
oh my God!
It's insane.
I think it's a new clip on Discovery or
I don't. This was on YouTube.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I might have seen it before.
Yeah,
it was brutal,
insane,
brutal,
man.
And they don't even do anything; they just rip them apart.
Yeah, they just, they're
destroy.
territorial.
You're on our land. Get out of here.
Yeah, you're making honey. We don't like honey. Diabetes. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah. But and then the thing is, the Asian honeybees that are native to that area, they found a technique to prevent this from happening.
Okay.
What they do is they catch this one scout, they lure him into the hive to investigate, and then once he's in there, like 200 honeybees will jump on him and then flutter their...
Oh, burn them out, overheat them.
Yeah, flutter their wings right quick, raising the degree inside the...
Incinerate them.
Yeah, to like 200 degrees and kill the guy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'm like, what? Bees can flutter their wings and like get 200 degrees. Like, that's hot.
Apparently when bees, like the scout bees go out and they're looking for new places to make a hive, they'll go like just search random spots, but when they find a spot, they'll come back and they literally do like a dance for the other bees. They move around. They'll like turn around once this way and move this way, and they're giving directions. Like we would be like, drive down the end of the road, take a left, like, and that's what they do. And all of them can find that one spot just off of that one directions of that bee.
Yeah, one direction.
Bah. Jesus Christ. One Direction. Behave. It's fucking so stupid. Yeah, you just deafened everybody. Don't worry, I'll get that in the editing.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
All right, well, we got 56 minutes, and anyway, I don't know. We talked about some stuff.
Some hef.
A little bit of hef talk. And
fuck the hoff. It's all about the hef now.
Yeah, well... We'll do a podcast for the Hoff when he goes too. I'm sure he's got a...
Hopefully it's not anytime soon.
He'll probably choke on a cheeseburger pretty soon. Did you ever see that video of him eating the cheeseburger off the floor, drunk? Oh my...
yes.
So bad. So bad.
Yeah, he went through like this whole like 2-year really bad spell. I don't know how he's doing now. He could still be...
I think he's back on top. Fuck, man. He was on Sharknado. Are you kidding? He's back running the world.
He made a cameo in the new Baywatch.
Oh, that's right too.
Yeah.
The new... I didn't watch...
Fury? Fist of Fury. What was that movie called?
Oh, Kung Fury.
Kung Fury, yeah.
That was so good. Yeah, everybody check out Kung Fury. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're into robots, kittens that shoot lasers, and dinosaurs, Kung Fury is your kind of movie.
If you want to see Hitler get his ass kicked
by a golden eagle,
and you want to see a Viking god take care of I can't remember what it's about because it's just a bunch of scrambled stuff.
If you want to see T-Rex take on a giant golden eagle with those little T-Rex nimble arms,
if you want to see, if you want to see, if you want to see a car like jump, spin, and then he gets out, and then he's on top of the car, flying through the air while shooting the bad guys, and then crashing the car through a group of bad guys while also kicking ass. Watch Kung Fury. All right, we're done.
All right, dude.
Have fun, and we'll catch you next time. All right, I had a good time there. It was kind of fun. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, Matt, being on the podcast. I know you had a busy week. I'm glad we got to fit this in. But I learned a couple things about Hugh Hefner this week. I hope you guys did too. There's all kinds of stuff out there. This wasn't even scratching the surface about Hugh. So why don't you just go ahead and research and watch a couple of biographies about him. You know, it's a pretty interesting guy. Even if you're against Playboy as a brand or a label, just go in and do a little research. You'll probably find one or two things you like about the guy anyway. I know the magazine is really good. It's an entertaining magazine. And call me a sicko for collecting them if you want, but whatever. I don't care. Rest in peace, Hugh Hefner. May your legacy carry on. Thanks, everybody, and enjoy your time.
Well, we all love to be big old East Coast. Long back and forth like the leaves in the trees. Sometimes you wanna go, but you never wanna leave. Good times and the merry times, well, you can always find your